The world tops 20 million players. That is exceedingly good for any game. 20 million players. That's more than, in our world, what World of Warcraft has. That's nearly double World of Warcraft, actually.
Yep.
So 20 million players. Apparently, it sold quite a bit. 10 million copies in the first 6 months.
So half those people playing bought it within the first 6 months.
Yep.
Good to know.
Also, reports state that there are around 10 million users in Japan alone. Yes, the game was Japanese, and then it was translated and released to American population.
So like every other game, basically.
Most JRPGs, yes. This is a JRPG. For those of you who are watching this, you probably already know that, being as you're looking for it. New transportation system, operational. Oh, this is gonna come into play later, isn't it? I remember this. This comes into play. I don't know if it's this game or the next game, but there's some more news on this later. It's not really anything important, of course. Okay, so we're done with the news. Let's log in, I guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've gone over everything.
Oh, no. Wait, there's also the world login screen, which has login, board, and quit. Over on the left, you see Key of the Twilight. I think that's pretty nifty, written on the sword.
Quit just brings you back to the previous menu.
Quit brings you back to your desktop. Board brings you to the BBS, or the message board, I guess you could call it. And login allows you access to the
board system. I think it stands for bulletin board system.
Yeah,
the board is, in fact, different than the news. The board has to do with just anything you'd find on a forum. It's a forum.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's kind of like a forum for the world.
Yep, world board, world forum. There's a lot of new stuff in here. I'm sorry, but a lot of this stuff you don't need to know. I'm sorry, but there's
like every once in a while you'll get keywords or a few hints from there, but
well, actually, this board is a major part of the game, but this stuff like this, like the version update information, you don't need to know it.
Like,
in all honesty,
if it's your first time playing,
even if it's not, you really just don't need to know it. You'll learn it
then
regardless.
Yeah, read through what the board says. You'll just learn it by playing, but if you're a slow learner, yeah, read through the board.
Yeah, I would recommend reading through the board. I mean, some things in here do have some pretty nifty information, like elemental hits.
Something you wouldn't really be able to figure out that quickly. Under normal circumstances.
Under normal circumstances.
I don't think elemental enemies really come into play until a little bit through the game.
No, actually, they're in the very beginning. It's just you don't have any spells to use.
Okay, okay, yeah. So really, you just can't use it until a decent way through.
Yep.
Close enough. Doesn't really come into play.
This is really more for the player's information. So a lot of this you don't actually need to know. If there is something that you all want to see, I suppose I could throw together a video at the end. Post information, post game of sorts. Just something after the game for any, end game stuff. System explanation. See, there's just so much stuff in here right now. You probably don't even want to see it. I don't even want to see it, in all honesty. I've read it so many times. So
now, this is not to say don't go onto the board whenever you see something new, because you can get things like keywords from it or small events.
Yep, that is true.
But
so always make sure, even if you're not going to read the board, just make sure to go through and open the messages that you don't really care about.
Just so you know when there's actually something new.
Because the game does rely heavily on the board and emails. I think I'll log out and check my email. Let's log in.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Okay, we're in the Delta server. Aqua Capital, Mach-On, whichever you prefer. Oh, that's... Oh, we look cool.
Hey, you made it.
Who are you? Apparently Kite is confused as well.
Hey, it's me, Orca, the Blade Master.
Yeah, I can see that.
Whoa! You look so different from the real Yasuhiko.
Oh, I see, that's
Nothing like the
Yasuhiko.
real you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
If you know anything about the .hack world, you'll know who Orca is.
regardless of what I am in reality.
Yeah,
Pretty well
well,
known.
sorry, but I'm trying to play it down a
Yeah.
little bit so I don't spoil too much.
What?
I'm not gonna say anything more than that.
You look great.
Just that he appears in some other places.
Anyway, take this.
How long is the rate for YouTube anyway?
I don't know. Hold on.
I don't know if it's 30 minutes or if you have your time extended as you get more subscribers.
Member address.
Oh, it's
is a
15
flash
minutes.
mail address you can only access in the world.
Well, some people make videos that are, you know, over 4 days long, Alex.
They have
You can
special
exchange messages with others in
privileges.
real time.
Yeah,
long
that's
as
what I'm
you're in
asking
the
about,
world.
thank you. Anyway, there's talking.
It's mostly used by newbies to contact other players to form a party. Try it out by inviting me to join your party. First, press the triangle button to open the menu.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out here, but Orca's about to give us the longest tutorial that you will, quite honestly, probably find in a game. Some of the stuff he tells you, you don't even need to know as the player. Like, you wouldn't need to know this unless, you know, just certain circumstances come around where you were actually playing this game in real life. And my controller died.
Well then.
Hold
Unfortunate
on,
timing.
please.
In the menu,
Oh,
select
okay, there we
party.
go. It's working again. There's a
Strange.
prong missing from inside my controller top. So it dies every now and again. So he wants us to go
Next,
party.
select add.
Yes,
Names
Orca.
of players who gave you their
Also, he
member
goes very
addresses
basic
will be listed
tutorial.
here.
Also, I'm probably going to be a bit more quiet from now on, seeing as my brother just woke up.
Choose
From
the player
behind me.
you want to invite to your party and send a flash mail. Since you just started, you probably only have my member address.
No, Orca, I have like 30 other people. I mean, there's people who stand around at the thingy here and just...
Really, they do just kind of stand there.
They do. They just stand here and give you their member address. Like, hey, let's party up.
Now,
No, that'd be a
press
little
the X button
creepy.
Twice to send
Yeah.
a flash mail to me.
But in actuality, we'll get to that.
Foreshadowing.
Dun dun dun.
Got it. Join my party. It's kind of weird mailing each other when we're face to face.
Yeah.
See? My name appears under your screen. That means I'm in your party. By the way, flash mail is only available when you're in a town. Oh, and you can't contact people when they're not logged into the world.
So basic.
People do have a life, you know. We're not online 24/7.
I find it interesting that he pauses before he says the world.
Yeah, no.
That's one of my biggest problems with the first game. They fix it in the later games, but in the first games, when people say the world, they stop and then they put emphasis on the world.
In other
Because
words, you
it's
can't
the
always
name of
count on
something.
the same members to form a party.
That is true.
So, try to get as many member addresses as you can. You'll have more fun that way.
Really, you can't get member addresses except for through certain circumstances.
So don't just go around talking to people expecting to get member addresses.
Yeah.
Well, how you play is up to you. But since EXP and stuff isn't divided among party members,
This is a pretty big thing here, he's about to say.
you really don't benefit if you go solo.
You really don't. There's really no benefit in solo, except for maybe your skill as the player will go up. Like, by skill, I mean your ability to play Kite. Other than that, you don't really benefit from solo. you actually have quite a disadvantage because enemies can kill you quite quickly if you.
And normally it's not 1 versus 1. It's more like, hey, look, 4 versus 1.
3 is the.
It's like 1 versus 3, except from one of the portals, but. Then some other random enemies can just come wandering around and can start attacking you as well if you're on the overworld.
If you're on the field, yeah. Some fields have wandering enemies.
Okay. Well, why don't we head off? There's nothing to worry about. I found a perfect place for newbies.
I like how you call me a newbie.
Yeah,
Don't be a
yeah.
Gaspard. The wise
Spoilers.
words of another LP'er.
Yes.
Transfer device that takes us from
Wise
one
words,
place to
indeed.
another.
They are. Yeah, that's the Chaos Gate.
Now,
It's
press the X button.
your teleportation device.
In the world, each play zone is called an area, determined by a combination of 3 keywords. Select new keyword.
In the past, it wasn't actually 3 keywords.
At the top is the entry plate. You put the 3 selected keywords one by one for each part, A, B, and C. Left of the entry plate is all the keywords you have. You can collect more of them by reading your emails, the board, and from other players.
They actually start you off with quite a bit of words compared to the GU series.
They just won't let you select any of them until after this.
Let's add
Yeah.
some keywords. By
It's the
starting with
tutorial.
part A. Select bursting. Good. Next for part B, select passed over. For the last one in part C, select aqua field. Now you're done specifying the area. Oh, one more thing. You see the symbol on the left next to the keyword? That's the server symbol. It indicates which server you are currently logged on to.
Really, you don't really also need to know this. It's good to know for some cases if you're making your own keywords, but the majority of times if they give you a keyword to go to, you will see a check mark next to it, or if you're not in the right server, there'll be a check mark next to the server
And
you need to go
it'll
to.
actually be in your word list.
That
You
is
won't
right.
have to go to create new
This
keyword
symbol is
or whatever.
Delta, so we're logged on to the
Yes.
Delta server. The list on the bottom right is the area status list. See the jewel next to the field type and dungeon?
See, this is something you don't even need to know.
That indicates how the selected keyword affects the status.
I suppose if you're, again, grinding or making keywords for yourself to go into an area to do something, for, say,
Or you're looking
finding
for a specific-
items.
Are you looking for a specific type to
check
fight
the
against?
field type.
Yeah,
Specific, not Pacific.
type.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This means that the field type is being determined by aqua field, the keyword in C. We don't know what kind of field the current keyword will create until we get there. But once we learn the effect of that keyword, we can combine it with other keywords effectively.
Well, we know that it's gonna be a wood element, actually. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a certain type of area. There are multiple types of areas.
For more details, check out the board on your own time.
Just like we said, check out the board on your own time.
Alright, let's get going to the Delta Bursting Passed Over Aqua Field.
Let's
Select
go.
Warp.
Okay. Whoa, nifty. We warped.
Also, you also want to know what type you're going into, just in case your weapons aren't going to heal the monsters.
Before
I don't
we
think
get
your
going,
weapons can
let me
heal.
explain to you about the camera control.
But they
Yeah,
did.
Your
Your-
weapons might not be able to damage them,
They'll just
but I
do
don't think they
zeros.
can heal them.
Yeah, they'll do zeros if they're same element. And I don't think your weapons can't
Enemies
get
will attack
elemental
from
basis.
all directions.
Your skills can, your weapons can't.
Yeah. I'll get to that as well.
The idea is to
'Cause
adjust your view
I don't know
to
if
see
Orc
your
actually
enemy
does get
and
to that.
grasp the situation. I'll explain more later, but remember.
I think he does have you
only
use
skills on
use
targets
a
you
skill.
can see.
He does explain skills a
If you don't
bit,
use
but
the camera right,
I don't know if he goes
you'll be
into
dead before
detail.
you know it.
Yeah, if you don't use your camera right, you will be dead before you know it.